Good afternoon, salutations. How are all of you beautiful people over there on YouTube? You guys living the dream? I hope you are, because it is TGIDP Fridays over here with Pudge, your host, and my co-host Josh Kimmel. We're here with the Finns Talk Sports Network and FantasyNowPlus.com. Sorry about that. I was getting a little slow. But we've got the Thursday night highlights. We've got some strategy on who to pull up on your IDP players. And then we've got your buy and sell for sure. So without further ado, let us start the show.
You're listening to the IDP Show, only on Fantasy Now Plus.
And away we go.
Topher's beautiful voice blew my ear pods out of the water. So that was a great way to wake me up on this TGIDP. What's going on, Pudge? What's going on? What's the poop, fella, as my favorite podcaster says?
Oh man. Well, we've got our poop in a group today. All of our stuff is together. It is Friday. We are getting ready for the weekend. It is actually fall weather out now. It is okay for me to go to the pumpkin farm with my kids now. Normally,
There we go.
we wait until it gets a little chillier out, but it's been 80 degrees plus here in Michigan. So
what is it now?
It is 62 right now.
If I could, I mean this in the nicest way possible. If I could sneak through this camera lens and just smack you, go, shut up, man. It's 91 degrees here, brother. But you know what? Happy National Angel Food Cake Day, Zach. Appreciate that in the chat. Never had it. Probably will never have it. I'm a pumpkin pie kind of guy.
Never had angel food cake.
Nah. But I bought my first pumpkin pie of the season. I used to eat at least one pie a week. I've limited myself to a half a pie a week. That's right. Don't judge. After a great leg day at the gym, at Gold's Gym down here, right? You come home from leg day, you pound a protein shake, and you slam a pumpkin pie. Cool Whip, no sugar. Hey, for all you dieters out there, Cool Whip in the freezer is literally ice cream, but 10,000 less calories. So do yourself a favor, and cheaper, by the way. Start buying some Cool Whip year round and freezing that sucker. You're going to have a nice, tasty, calorie-free treat. But we do have a recap to get to, Pudge. We had a massive upset last night in the National Football League. And we had some shirtless chest bumping after the game.
Fitzpatrick is awesome. He is my favorite backup quarterback of all time. That beard is magical. His chest hair is just on point and perfect. I don't know how you get like that, but maybe he's got implants, probably. I'm assuming. He's got hair plugs on his chest. It's cool. But yeah, him and Scatterboo were out there bumping chests and doing it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was a wild ups and downs with my love of Scatterboo throughout the offseason. 1 second I love him, 1 second I'm against him. Next second I got a psychopath in the chat saying he uses real whipped cream instead of Cool Whip. Hey, to each their own, pal. I was kidding. Love you, Robert. Thank you for that. But yeah, Cam Scatterboo, I was kind of unsure of his production in this New York Giants offense. I thought Tyrone Tracy was going to be a thing in this New York Giants. Not like special thing, but just a thing, like another cog in the wheel. Now it looks like it's not going to be that. It's Cam Scatterboo, and that's it. And you know what sold me on this? And I'm sure, right, everyone saw the same thing. When he got stuffed at the goal line and then stuffed again, and then he made it through on the third try, I think that's when America, nay, the world, said, this guy's got the dog in him, and he's the guy. And I love it. So how are you thinking about Scotty? Were you on him before? I didn't know your opinion.
So he was on the St. Brown podcast. I follow Monroe St. Brown pretty hard, being a Lions fan, and I listened to him and those two banter back and forth, and it was very entertaining. He's a very entertaining individual. I really like his attitude. He's not bigger than the spotlight type of deal. He's a lunch pail guy. He is a poor man's Nick Chubb. Like, he doesn't have Nick Chubb's talent. He never will be Nick Chubb. Don't get it twisted. But Nick Chubb was a lunch pail running back. He would go there, go to work. Like, he was overshadowed by Baker Mayfield when Baker was drafted the same the same day as him. And he was in the airport. Nobody knew who he was. Like, nobody knew who this great running back from Georgia was. But I feel like if you saw Cam prior to Monday Night Football, you wouldn't know who he was normally. He's a stocky guy, built a lot like Ray Rice, and I think he's here to stay if he stays healthy.
That's the biggest thing. If he stays healthy, he runs so hard. He runs for contact. He doesn't run for yardage. He wants to find someone to hit. He wants to make that play. He wants to be an impact player. I love, I am worried about the longevity. I'm worried about what happens, as far as fantasy goes, when he doesn't score the touchdowns, because obviously 3 touchdowns, you're going to have a massive game. He has 5 on the season already, so that's pretty good for a rookie running back. Is there any other rookie running back that has 5 touchdowns? Can't think of any. I don't think of any. Obviously, he does have a head start, an extra game on these guys, but I can't think of Genty. I think Genty has 1 or 2. I think Genty has a receiving and a rushing.
I thought Genty had 3 in one game.
Did he have 3 in one? Sure. Oh, he did. He did. Didn't he? Yes, he blew up. Yes, because I played against Geno Smith in the same matchup, so it didn't help me whatsoever. So,
but he got them all in one game. It's just like Cam.
Yeah, Cam got him in this one game. But do you think it was kind of like a fluky Thursday night game? Philadelphia wasn't up for it. Like, this is a massive upset in the NFL. 34-17. Giants are 2-4. Eagles are now 4-2. It doesn't look like. I don't think the Giants are going to look this good all season long.
Jalen Carter was out, so that was big. On those Cam Scadaboo plays, I call them Bam Bam Scooby Doo. Bam Bam Scooby Doo plays. Jalen Carter's going to stuff that every time. He could probably stuff him with one finger, but
wow.
But him not being there was a huge part in Bam Bam Scooby Doo.
All I could think about is like that thing of an Avengers movie, some kind of Marvel movie where Thor's like, "Who's your challenger?" I guess it's Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, and then it's Hulk. Like, he's like, "Oh gosh," like that Cam Scotty was like, "Yeah, I'm the man." But if Carter was there, he'd be like, "Blink." Just come on, man, don't do him like that, dude.
That's
that man
it.
Broke 3 tackles on that play. Come on.
Yeah, it's like when everybody used to play Dikembe Mutombo. And this is back in the day for basketball, and he used to just stand there and swat the ball and then go, no. That's Jalen Carter with Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah, much better.
I just picture him just getting blown up by a fingernail.
Do you think Mike Allstott could have got through Mr. Tough Guy? Means your favorite defensive player. That's what I'm learning. This is your favorite defensive player of all time. That's what I'm learning.
My favorite defensive player of all time is definitely not him.
Who is it?
But
who is it?
I like Albert Hainsworth. That's
your
joke.
Favorite of all time?
That's a joke.
Oh, okay.
That's a joke. No, honestly, Vince Wilfork Vince Wilfork with the Baltimore Ravens, Vince Wilfork with the Patriots. He's from the U, so that's my favorite college team. I absolutely loved Vince. He was a man among men. He took up 7 spots along the defensive line, and he could still sack the quarterback. So, but
Right on.
this is a different defensive line that we have nowadays. These guys are uber athletic. I mean, they're 300 pounds and sub 5 second 40s. So these guys are unreal. They're genetically engineered. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, it is, man. So sticking on the New York Giants side, Jackson Dart seems to be a player for your fantasy football team. I did bench him for Mac Jones or Dylan Gabriel, but that was my decision. So I decided to sit Jackson Dart for those two guys. Whoever starts, if Mac Jones starts, I'm starting him. But he went 17 for 25, 195. Isn't throwing for a ton of yardage, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, which is important. But the most important thing is his rushing ability. He that's huge. 58 rushing yards. That's an extra passing touchdown, or that's almost a rushing touchdown. Oh yeah, he had one of those too. This kid's a stud, man. Like, are we reaching the point where we can't bench him because of this upside of the rushing?
Well, they did play a Philadelphia Eagles defense that is really good. That can't be overlooked. He's doing it. And he's doing it, it looks like, because of his preparedness. His preparedness in that game, like you were just talking about that rushing touchdown, he baited Zach Bond out in the open field where he knew he could beat him. That is a very smart individual. Sorry, I've got a co-star over here. He's
always hogging the spotlight over there.
He's restless. No, I'll do it after.
Okay.
Love you. Sorry, guys. Dad duties. So I'm red now. Oh, sorry. Dart. He looks the part. He is acting the part. He needs to learn how to freaking slide, or he's going to end up like Tua. Or one of the other quarterbacks that just can't seem to stay healthy because of their lack of field awareness. He's got to realize that he is the heartbeat of that team, and he is. If you look at the sidelines, you look how juiced up those guys are. As soon as he's on the sidelines, ready to go, doesn't get down when there is a negative play. His ability to forget the previous play is becoming noticeable. And that's a huge thing. That's an Aaron Rodgers trait. It is. It's a highly touted trait. That those guys, it's a Tom Brady trait. I'm not saying that he's Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. Those guys are Hall of Famers. What I'm saying is his ability to forget the play before and just go out there and get what's given to him or get creative. That's almost the second best ability to being available for these guys. And if he doesn't learn how to slide, he's not going to be available.
Yep. So better. Well, I wouldn't say better days ahead for Jackson Dart, just more days like this. It's going to be fun to watch him grow with that team. Wish Malik Neighbors was out there. Let's head to the other side of things where we have a struggling running back. Maybe the Madden curse hit him. I'm not sure. I don't know. I didn't say it. But Saquon Barkley, another game under 60 yards rushing, did average 4.8 yards per carry. It's just 2 catches, 12 carries. Like, he's not getting involved in these games. And I think again, the fantasy aspect of things, we're getting frustrated as managers. How much longer until you sell this guy off, man? That's what I'm asking you. How long until you want to put this guy in your lineup?
It was maddening because the first 2 offensive plays of the game, Saquon Barkley has almost 40 yards in offense. And then they know they can't rush. They know that the New York Giants can't stop the run, and they go away from it. And then all of a sudden, on third down in that same series, Saquon's not out there, and it's AJ Dillon out there. I realize that Saquon's pass protecting is not the greatest, okay, but he's got one of the greatest rushing quarterbacks out there right now. Let Jalen, decide if he's got to break it or not. But not having your best offensive player on the field on third down when it's critical, you are in the between the 40s. Come on, like I don't understand the play calling there. I get that they want to be diverse, but this team had 40 yards of Saquon Barkley yards in the first 3 minutes of the game, and then he ends up with less than 60. It doesn't make sense.
Nope.
The scheme, whatever they're doing offensively, has to change. And I'm almost on board with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I don't agree with the play calling. I agree with them, saving them for the rest of the year, but you got to win games. And now you're 2 losses into NFC debacle where it's going to be a lot of good teams vying for that bye.
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of top teams, going for that bye. So Dallas Goedert scoring again. I know this is his 4th game in a row scoring at least 1 touchdown. Went off 9 catches, 110 yards on 11 targets. He seems to be, I guess, the new guy in town that Jalen Hurts likes to throw to. That being said, at the tight end position, are you considering him a top 5 tight end the rest of the season with this kind of usage? Now, you don't have to go in depth with it. Just yes or no would be fine. Because I saw that look. You're like, oh, I don't know if he's good. Don't worry. He got 11 targets, brother. Like, that's huge.
He's actually one of my buy and sell questions at the end.
Okay,
today.
we'll skip this.
No. It's a totally different question though. Okay. It's so yes, I believe Dallas Goedert is a viable option when he's
I'm not
when he's
laughing.
healthy.
Hold on. Let me ask you something. Do you have Froder? Like, do you have a problem with these? Because I do. I work. I have to say the word Froder a lot. Froder Hospital. Because I call it anyway. That's a hard freaking name to say, isn't it? Like, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because like I do the same thing. So like, why? Why is English so hard? Why?
It doesn't make any sense.
All right, we'll move on.
My name's Chris, and it should be Chiss. So I don't get it. I don't understand it. But Godart, Godart is going to be a viable option, much like Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry is going to be a boomer bust touchdown guy, but I think Goddard is. I've always thought Goddard was a good tight end, and then when Zach Ertz left, I thought he was going to step in and be the guy. They brought in AJ Brown. They have all these pass catchers and no need for him. But it looks like the offense is changing with this regime, and we will see. It's to be determined. I tend to think it will regress to the median, but who knows? They could just be a tight end team again.
That's right on, man. Well, let's go to segment 2 where we have some bye week teams and possibly we get into some IDP where we could talk about some players that you can maybe fill in for your buys. We have Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings on bye. So, Pudge, who are some IDP fill-ins for you this week?
So, Jalen Petre is on bye. If anybody sees him on a waivers, this is one of the times I'm going to tell you to pick him up while he's on bye. Jalen Petre is awesome. He ever since CJ Gardner-Johnson exited stage left, got kicked off the team pretty much. Petre has filled in and he's been great. Rest of the season, I would see him as a CB2. But for your defensive line, I've got Josh Sweat from the Cardinals. He is constantly in the backfield. He's got 5 sacks already. He's killing it over there in Arizona. Kenneth Murray, who I'm actually going to bring up a little bit in the matchup segment. We'll talk about him in a second. But he came over from Tennessee to Dallas and really has just filled that left inside linebacker spot, and he's just a tackling machine on a very leaky defense. And then we got the defensive player of the week, Kool-Aid McKinstry. He actually looked really, really awesome. McKinstry is just going to he's just going to be there. He's going to take up those Jalen Petres, those bye week guys that you're not going to start Kool-Aid, but if you've got a corner that's on bye or a safety that's on bye, Kool-Aid McKinstry is your guy.
Noted. I did some waiver wire pickups for IDP guys, and I'm in like 3 leagues. Best projected, brother. Like, I'm taking what you're saying, but all those players that you talk about, not only are they rostered, I'm in deep leagues, like deep. I can't get them. So hopefully in casual leagues or 12-man leagues that these guys are available, because brother, every time, because I have our sheet. Like, I got the cheat sheet right in front of me on my computer. And after the show, I'm on my phone on Sleeper scrolling through these names. Oh, picked up. Oh, picked up. Oh, picked up. So hopefully,
do I need to go deeper?
No, you don't need to go deeper.
Oh, I mean,
we
can go way deep.
Me, no, this isn't a personal show to help you. Although that's why I'm here, so I can learn IDP, because I still got Montez Sweat on my teams. Does he still play football? I don't know.
Montez or Josh?
I think so. I don't know. One of these guys. One day I'm going to show you my roster. You'll be like, why is he on your roster? I'm like, I don't know, bro. I just
play. You don't want that. No, that's fine. It's cool. It's okay. Everything's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be okay.
Live reading on my live reading. 32-man. It's a 32-man dynasty. No duplicates. 32-man dynasty. Here are my players. I have Kwity Paye at my DL. I have Jalen Phillips as my linebacker. I have Jalen Ramsey as my DB. I have Dennis Gardeck as my linebacker. I have Edgerrin Cooper as my IDP player. Okay. I have Joey Bosa as an IDP player. And I have Montez Sweat as an IDP player.
Well, let me know who's on your waivers after the show. And we'll talk.
It's bad, bro. Like, I'm down bad.
It's okay. It's okay. Actually, 2 of those guys are actually on my, highlight list this week because of who they're playing.
Right on. Well, let's get to that. See how I transitioned that? I knew that.
Yeah, you did. So we're gonna break down. These are the teams you're gonna want to exploit this week, especially. We got the Saints, Browns, and Panthers. I know that's easy pickings, but these teams are the teams that are running the most plays, other than the ones that played last night. Obviously, the Eagles and Giants are way ahead of everybody right now. But 2 of these have very, very shaky quarterbacks, and the other one is unknown. We've got the Saints, Spencer Rattler. Who knows what he is? Nobody really can deal with him or what. And then we've got, obviously, the newcomer. We got Dylan Gabriel with the Browns. He had a decent game, but we'll see. And then Bryce Young with the Panthers. The Panthers are killing it in pace of play. They're they're way up there. I want IDP players that are playing these teams, and I picked free safety Craig Woodson, and then you've got Marcus Jones. These guys are going to be the guys that I want on my team that are exploiting these guys. The Saints. I'm sorry. In Kellen Moore's offense, I think that Rattler is kind of miscast, and these guys can feast on him this weekend for sure. And then you've got the next game. It's going to be the Steelers. They are playing the Browns. So, I mean, this could be a Steeler defense get right game. I know it's not the Steelers defense in the Baltimore defense that we're normally used to, but these Steelers, obviously Watt, Patrick Queen, Thornhill, Deshaun Elliott, Jalen Ramsey could be huge. And that's what I was saying, Jalen Ramsey. He's playing their nickel corner spot now, and his tackling is going to go through the roof. So look for him to get a pick this week against Dylan Gabriel. He's going to bait him into a play in the third quarter, and Jalen Ramsey's going to get a pick this week.
Third quarter, Jalen Ramsey pick. If that happens, you guys all have to like and subscribe, like for real. And Squid, I see your question. We'll get to you in a second after we finish this matchup spotlight segment. We do have one more to go through, right?
Yeah. Our last one is I just put it as Kenneth Murray, man. He's got Carolina. Carolina is a absolute mess when it comes to what the offense is and what it's capable of. Nobody really knows. Jack Sanborn is out this week. He was designated out. So he'll be taking over the play calling over there in Dallas. And he'll be manned up there with Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark's going to take up all of that space on the offensive and defensive line. So look for Kenneth Murray to have a massive game this week because there's nobody else out there. They're going to run a billion plays between Dallas and Carolina, and he'll have a base tackle total of I'm thinking at least 10 total tackles. I would hope that most of those are solo, and I would look up to 15 tackles.
Oh, that's a massive day. That really is a big day.
That is a big day. That is a big day. I think Kenneth Murray is going to have a breakout day.
All right. Well, hopefully these guys are on your roster or your waiver wire, and you can go pick them up. That's Kenneth Murray, Jalen Ramsey. We're talking about Steelers. All right, TJ Watt. You know who I like? I like that Patrick Queen. That dude's always making plays. At least I see him.
Patrick. So I'm in an industry IDP league, and I don't. The trophy's right there. I've got the trophy. It's right there. I promise. My kids always want to touch it, but I don't let them. Bad parenting. But I don't know how or why somebody dropped him, but they must. I don't know if they made a mistake, but I gobbled him up on the waiver wire this week, and I was pretty excited.
Right on. So Squid in the chat has a question. Should I trade Sutton, that's Cortland Sutton, and Michael Carter for Breece Hall and Jacoby, I'm assuming Myers? My running backs are CMC, Derrick Henry, and Michael Carter. So he wants to upgrade his running back position with Breece. And then not saying Jacoby and Sutton are a wash because they're not, but the idea he's going to here is Jacoby's greater than Michael Carter. Right? That's what I can assume. It's basically Breece for Sutton and Jacoby for. That's how I break down trades, guys. I like to just boom.
I mean, I would do Sutton and Carter for Breece Hall, period. if you're gonna get Jacoby on top, absolutely smash that button. Don't let that guy go.
Yep, because I don't think Michael Carter's probably not going to be the guy the whole season. I like Sutton. I think Sutton is the second best player in the deal. I think he's the most productive player in the deal, though. I think Brees is a better player, but less productive. But it's at it's your running back 2, and it's a need because Derrick Henry is pretty much RIP. Pretty much.
He's struggling. Well, especially
Yep.
without Jackson, and then next week is their bye week, so you're going to be without him for another week.
Yep. So I smash that deal. I take Brees, even though Brees does have that limited usage lately for some reason, but they're still finding ways for him to get the ball. Oh, I love Brees Hall. I think I had him super high in my dynasty rankings, and I'm like the highest. So I love Brees. Buy sell.
I'm pretty high on Brees.
You're pretty high. We line up a lot. I don't know if you notice, but I look a lot and I see who I line up with. We line up a lot.
You and Will are if I don't line up with you on a player, it's usually Will or vice versa.
Yeah. Well, whatever. It is what it is. It makes our league kind of boring because we can't trade each other. I made a trade in our Fantasy Now Plus league just because I wanted to make a trade. I made one with Topher, and just because. Just
to grease the wheels, gets people talking.
Yeah, that's literally why I hit accept. I don't need Stephon Diggs.
Gets the people moving.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You're no problem, Squid. Also, should I start Mason Taylor and Njoku or Jake Tongs? I call him Tongs. As Tongs. As my it's English. As my tight end. Who would you start? Mason Taylor, playing in London. You have David Njoku, who was a not brand new quarterback because Dylan Gabriel was there, or Jake Tongas, who may have Brock Purdy or Mac Jones.
Well, so Tongas is in there for one more week until Kittle starts practicing next week.
Yep.
I know this is against the grain, but I was high on Mason Taylor coming into the year. I'm high on him now. And he did have a breakout type of game. It looks like Justin Fields has eyes for two people, and he is one of those two people. Njoku right now, if he was getting all of the work, not splitting it with Harold Fannin, which I believe Harold Fannin is going to take that because Dylan Gabriel and Fannin are rookies. For some reason, I can't say that this is fact, but to me, it seems like when rookies get on the field together, they seem to gel together. They go through camp together. You and I have talked about this at like every time a player and a quarterback get together, they have this bond. And it seems that Njoku is the man out. He picked this flavor. It was Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco is now a Bengal. But I would take Mason Taylor.
Yeah, I like Mason Taylor. If I know you probably don't want to do this, but if you have time on the Wednesday show, that was one of our showdowns. It was Mason Taylor versus Evan Ingram. And I went on a huge rant and soliloquy on why I chose Mason Taylor. And the majority of it was because when Justin Fields targets the tight ends from 2021 to 20, whatever the range was, I don't have the notes in front of me. I should have it memorized. He was 75%. His passer rating was over 120. When he targeted Cole Kmet or tight ends like that, Justin Fields did well. So I hope the coaching staff sees that, looks at the tape, breaks down that stats and those analytics and go, oh, maybe we should feature our tight end for him because he's obviously clearly good with the tight ends. So I also chose Mason Taylor. Man, that overseas game.
I really believe that's why they brought Mason Taylor in, is to help him, because we know that he hyper targets, which we knew he was going to hyper target Wilson, which is great. I've always loved Wilson. Wilson's, like I said, he's been one of those wide receivers that's had over 1,000 yards every single season. He is the next Mike Evans without being Mike Evans, Doesn't have the touchdowns, obviously, because their team stinks. But yeah, Tonjes, he might outproduce Mason Taylor this week just because we have Ricky Pearsall out, and we still have Ayuk out. We still got Kittle out. It'll be CMC, Kendrick Bourne, and maybe Jennings. So
they're playing Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is not a great defense, so I could see a side of Tongas. You know what? Man,
did I sway you?
You kind of did.
Tampa Bay's their pass defense isn't as stout as we'd like it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with the San Francisco tight end because they're playing Tampa Bay. And plus, I like to skip or avoid any overseas games if I can. I'm big on that. I don't like those games. Those games are sloppy. Those games are ugly. The over-under, I can say that because I'm not promoting anything right now, was 35.5 for that London game against the Vikings game. I took the over because I'm like 35.5 and sitting there at halftime struggling. I'm sweating this out because I'm like, how are these two pro teams not hitting over 35? Overseas games are weird, man. I don't like touching them. So, yeah. You know what? Tongas against Tampa Bay. That's where I'd go.
Well, you're on to something.
Mason
Taylor. A lot of it has to do with the turf. The turf that they play with or play for, it's not. They don't have football over there. These turfs are for soccer and other types of field sports that they're not designed for football players. That's why the game down in Mexico City was just a huge track meet. The defensive players couldn't get their footing. So I agree. I stay away from these toss-up games overseas because they've been very hard to predict.
Yeah, very not fun to watch. But by the way, I am so screwed this weekend, and this is first world problems, and I blame ESPN, and I blame the NFL, and I blame WWE. WWE, I blame everything. Blame the world. WWE's in Australia right now, so they think they could put it on their pay-per-view PLE live on ESPN Unlimited at 8 a.m. for us Americans. So I got to watch wrestling at 8 o'clock in the morning. And the very next day on Sunday, I got to wake up early and watch a damn overseas game. Can a boy sleep in on the weekend? This is ridiculous.
I'll be cooking.
Really?
I'm going to make my own whipped cream. Oh. Going back to Robert, I'm actually making French toast for the show because
so you're doing
Chef Justin is out.
Who's co-hosting with you?
I've got nobody.
Really?
I've got nobody. It's just me, man.
I'll be on with you.
I'm just living.
I could be on. I'll be on with you. So, all right. So that's it scheduled. I'm doing my first Sunday show, but let's get to buy or sell. Wait, Blair, hold on. Blair's got a question. I don't want to leave you hanging here, Blair. Since Quentin Johnson practiced in limited fashion all 3 days this week and is questionable with a hamstring, if he doesn't go, should I start Ridley, DJ Moore, or Matthew Golden full PPR?
That is a great question.
It's gross. It's super gross.
For you, Josh. That is a great question for you.
Yeah, it's gross, man. Calvin Ridley, he had a game last week. Like, he had a game. I don't want to put much stock into just one game just yet. At the end of the day, Cam Ward still scored like under 10 fantasy points. Like, after all that. So
we called it.
It's pretty bad, right? Like, it's pretty bad. So I don't want to start a player ever on an offense where the pass thrower can't score more than 10 fantasy football points in a fantasy football game. It's kind of ridiculous. I hope Cam Ward is the guy. I like Cam Ward. I like Miami too, Pudge. I don't know if you ever knew that. I'm a Hurricanes supporter. I like Cam Ward, but I don't have faith in him. DJ Moore, man, did they forget about him? Did they forget that he existed? They're playing Washington on Monday Night Football. You got to think that's a game they need to win if they want to stay competitive with the Lions, with the Vikings, with everybody else in that tough division, the North. They have to get him involved eventually. But Matthew Golden, bro, I know they're playing Cincinnati. I know that you want to be in on that. But this is a screaming Jordan Love, hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs, and let's just get a win and get out of here. Yeah, that seems like a trap. So all that being said, I'm going to stick my hat on DJ Moore because I know that he's going to be a target in that game where Ben Johnson does like to get creative. They have to get this guy going. Coming off a bye, you got to think they have a game plan for one of their best players. On the road at Washington in a primetime spot, I like DJ Moore to get right this week. And the reason why I'm choosing him over all those other guys is because Golden's not – I'm sorry. He just hasn't been involved as much as we wanted to. And it is a big trap game. And I just think that Calvin Ridley, his floor is so low. His floor is like 2 points. His ceiling is what, 10? Like, let's be realistic.
Yeah,
let's be realistic.
His hit or miss, his consistency rating is absolutely atrocious.
His floor, like I said, is literally like 1.6. He can get you one catch for 6 yards, and then that's it. That's it for the game. At least we know DJ Moore is going to get targets, although he hasn't had more than 6 targets in one game this season. That's concerning. He hasn't had over 50 yards since week 1. That's concerning. So I understand Mr. Blair Davis's concern. Is there anyone on the waivers? That's my question.
So, all right, we did say, coming off the bye, DJ Moore coming off the bye, that run game has not been what they expected coming into the year. I know that they really thought Swift was going to, shoulder most of that and he would be decent. They're really, really struggling in that aspect. And I know it's really, I said really a lot there, but Ben Johnson is absolutely livid right now with the lack of running game that they have. They want to be able to run the ball so they can get creative. They want to be able to run the ball so they can get creative with DJ Moore, more specifically. And I think coming off the bye, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to fade Zacchaeus, hopefully. Zacchaeus is a middling wide receiver, roster clogger. But DJ Moore is a very, very talented wide receiver. And I think that they get him going. They force feed him maybe in the first half of the game and then turn over to the run game. I don't know, but they've got to get DJ Moore going if they want to be successful. They've got a lot of money tied up into him.
They truly do. So DJ Moore, let's just hope. Let's be positive. Mr. QJ plays. Who would have thought? October 10th, 2025, 7:14 p.m. Eastern Time. We are wishing and hoping Quentin Johnson plays so we can start him in our fantasy football matchup. What a world. The world has gone mad. That's all I can tell you.
His metrics last year were good. He had a lot of drops.
Yeah, I did. Jamie, what's up, my dude? Yes, we are past the IDP portion, so you missed all that fundum, but you're here just in time for the buy or sell. So, with that being said, we have 3 each that we're going to shoot at each other. We'll do, snake one for one. So I'll start this off. Buy or sell with Antonio. And I have an extra one, by the way. Buy or sell. Antonio Gibson is out of the picture. He's gone. IR. See you later. Be gone. She gone. You ever watch those gas station encounters? It's pretty good. Anyway, so buy or sell double-digit carries for Trevion Henderson versus New Orleans this week. They play New Orleans?
Yeah, they play New Orleans.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was one of my starts of the week over here. Craig Woodson and Marcus Jones.
buying your show, selling all those fluffy other ones. Hey, Jamie, should I put my hair down for you? I know you enjoy. Did you see the hair down show? If you haven't, if you want to see hair down show, Wednesday showdown, me and Justin, I let it down, baby. We ran wild with the I can't think of something. We ran wild with the creatures over there on Wednesday. We let our hair down. It flew. My
got
son has
feral?
long hair too. Yeah, you ever see that YouTuber Penguin 2.0 or something like that? He's very popular. That's how thin my hair is. It's pretty bad. But Jamie said it looked good. Maybe next week I'll put it down for us. Anyway, buy or sell. Trevion Henderson getting double-digit carries versus New Orleans this week.
I am selling that. I still don't see him being that much involved in the running game as far as carries. Obviously, Gibson being out, he's going to take the passing down role, hopefully, and be more involved that way. But I would see his uptick in touches. He will have double-digit touches, but he will not have double-digit carries.
That's not the answer I wanted. All right. I got no defense.
That's the one I'm giving you. That's the one. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Hey,
you want to answer one of these before we go on?
Yeah, Yeah, let's answer J.K. Kelly 2.
Yeah, baby.
Superflex IDP League. This is right up our alley. Lost Burrow. Welcome to the club. Traded B Branch. Future
Brian
third. Reading it verbatim. Future third, future fifth for Matt Stafford. Overpay ?
Oh yeah.
This is for you.
Yes, that is. I would never have given up Brian Branch for Matthew Stafford. I'm assuming this is a redraft league. I know you're trading picks, but I've got a couple leagues where we can trade picks, but not players for the future. I don't like that trade. Brian Branch was a league winner for me last year, and he's pretty overvalued. But your third and your fifth for next year for Stafford. Stafford's actually he's my next question, but man, I don't think Stafford does it for the rest of the year. Spoiler alert for our next question here.
I'm gonna say this, JKK Kelly.
Just kidding, Kelly.
Is that what it is? All right,
I don't know.
Just kidding, Kelly too. No, here's what I'm gonna say. If you have depth, and I will say because context matters in trades. I'll never stress that enough. I'm in a league where I am mega stacked, beyond stacked. Cannot be more stacked than this. Yes, I can, because I'm offering mega superstar players for one mega superstar player that will help me over the top. I'm not saying Matthew Stafford is a mega superstar player, but in your league, if this move helps you win a championship, that's all that matters. Win the championship. Rebuild later. Fix it later. That's always my motto, especially in Dynasty, because the people that are always rebuilding are the people that are always on the bottom. Sell assets to win. You lost Joe Burrow. What if Joe Burrow is what he needed to push him over the top and he had another IDP player, which we don't know his roster, that can fill in or be like a maybe just a 50% worse. Maybe it's just a little drop down, nothing crazy. I'm okay with that. Sell assets to win, because guess what? It's hard to win in Dynasty. And if you can do it, sell the farm. That's my thoughts on Dynasty. That's how I play. I'm aggressive. I'm always aggressive.
It's hard to win, period. I mean, we do this stuff day in and day out, and I mean, we probably get 60% of it right. And that's on a good day, but we take our processes and we share them with you. That's where the value comes in from us. but I you know what? I agree. I'm going to flip flop because I looked up some of the available defensive backs right now. You can get some very boom defensive backs. You're not going to get the consistency of Brian Branch, but that's okay. If you did lose Burrow, I mean, not if you did lose Burrow. Um, I would stick Matthew Stafford in that lineup. Um, Now be prepared for him not to be the number one passing leader through 5 games with 1,503 yards. Don't expect that for the rest of the season. That's not going to happen. But he is one of several players in this era who has over 5,000 yards in a season. So he's got Puka Nacua, he's got Devontae Adams, and he's got Kyron Williams. He's got the offensive genius McVay, and his right arm is a cannon. Whether he has a back to throw it or not shall be determined. But it's a good trade. If you're all in, it's a good trade. I'd almost call it even. But if you're able to pivot off of Branch and get 50 to 75% of what he is, then yeah, that's a good trade.
Right on. And we got one more from Avery, then we'll get back to our buy sell. Traded Bijan, and DJ Moore for Keenan Allen, Javonte Williams, Worthy, and Bucky Irvin. Was this a steal? Okay.
You traded Bijan and DJ Moore.
Yeah. So basically, he traded Bijan Moore or Bijan. Here's how I see it, guys. Just want to throw out how my mind works when I look at these trades. He traded Bijan for Bucky Irvin, Keenan Allen, and Javonte Williams, and gave up DJ Moore to be nice. Because honestly, you should have gotten all three of those guys just for Bijan. DJ Moore is just a throw-in roster clogger. You're probably going to drop him anyway. So that's why he threw him in there. Very smart trade, very sharp trade. Very sharp. Because you have the Rachaad White to fill him for very sharp. That's what I'm going to say. But man, giving up the best player in the deal always feels bad. It always feels like you did something wrong because you did give up the best player in the deal. What you got back in return was massive depth, and that's the kind of moves you need to make if you are down bad. If you're down bad, listen, in my home league, which I'll put his name out there, Glenn, I offered you, JJ's on a bye, Justin Jefferson, and you're 1-4. I offered you Jalen Waddle. I offered you a starting running back that's probably better than any running back that you'll ever have. And I offered you Dylan Gabriel in a super flex league, and you declined it because I'm not saying no words, because you don't understand that you need to rebuild. This is a perfect trade if you have a superstar and you need to win now, especially if that guy's on bye. Bijan was just on bye. That's probably why Avery's hurt, because he not only lost Bijan last week, he was already down Bucky Irvin. That's a sharp trade. If you're down bad. That's all. Do you agree with that? Trading the 3-for-1? Like, if you're down bad, like, you have to win, man. Some people just hold on to these super studs and just go down with the ship.
I mean,
what was that trade?
I would have Keenan. I can see Keenan being pretty good to middling the rest of the season. Javonte, he's everything we thought he was 2 years ago. I mean, obviously he's 2 years. He's 2 years removed from the ACL surgery. He looks like Omarion Hampton from North Carolina. I mean, the same player. It's just I don't know what happened other than the knee surgery. But Bucky, man, Bucky right there is huge. I know he's out right now, and it's going to be tough. But Bucky for that long run right there, oh my Lord. The points with the Javonte and Bucky should supplant you losing Bijan. And I know it hurts. I know it stinks. He's that base floor play that you could just plug and play. You don't have to worry about. Always seems to be healthy for some reason. But yeah, that's a good trade. That's a steal.
All right, let's get back to our buy and sell. You have one for me, sir.
I do. Stafford's passing yards. He's actually the leader going through this week. He's got 1,503 yards. Are you buying and selling that he has another 5K season in Stafford in 2025?
Oh man, I'm buying this. When you said you're down on him, or not down on him, but he won't be doing this, dude. When you have Puka Nacua, anything is possible. All he has to do is dump it off to that guy, and he's making some plays. Devontae Adams has been a very big surprise to me, although he shouldn't. He was one of my, I think he's going to be average player. I'm like, okay, this is the Julio Jones year. This is the DeAndre Hopkins year. Like everyone has it. Yeah. Well, Amari Cooper was never great like those guys. Let's not be.
Right.
But Devontae Adams was. He was one of those guys. You can talk like Devontae Adams and all those superstars, Julio Jones, like I spoke of before. And I thought this was the wall year. I thought he was going to hit it. He didn't. He's not. Then you add on Kyron Williams, who's great in the passing game. Stafford has all of the weapons around him that he needs. And let me tell you something, guys. I don't know if you noticed, scoring's, I don't know if this is a fact, so take this with a grain of salt. Scoring seems to be up because every freaking time they kick the ball off, it seems like the guys get it to the 40 to 45 yard line. They're starting midfield now. It's kind of ridiculous. I hate it. I can't stand it. There's no long drives anymore. Everyone's already in field goal position right away. They made this game so easy for anyone. Imagine Dan Marino in this league. Oh, he'd be a lot like Matthew Stafford, picking apart these defenses with these short fields. I'm not saying Stafford is Marino,
except for he's got a title.
I do think Matthew Stafford could and will surpass 5,000 yards passing this season. Yeah. I'm ignoring that. I'm ignoring that. I'm just ignoring jerk. We are brought to you by the Fins Talk Sports Network, home with the Miami Dolphins talk. So your pledge disrespect the greatest player of all time.
It's terrible because they're the same player, right? Like neither of them could run away from anything really. They're all arm, all brain, and it's just funny that we talk about them in the same sentence. Obviously, Dan Marino is top. I want to say top 5, but I would say top 10 for sure. Just to appease the masses, but he's in my top 5. I don't have any of the current quarterbacks in there. I just don't do that. That's not my thing. But yeah, I think Stafford and Dan Marino are going to have that pocket passer presence, Hall of Fame resume type dealy. And I do think he goes over 5K yards for sure.
Right on. Buy or sell? Well, here's the scenario. Dallas gives up 412 yards a game, which is the worst if you're playing from home. Carolina only gains 315 yards a game, which is pretty average. Nothing great, right? Matthew Stafford throws for that in the first half. Buy or sell? Bryce Young leads the Panthers to 400 total yards on offense this week against the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, I buy it. I buy it this week. It's going to be a tough feat.
Let me ask you, is it going to be through the air or is it going to be on the ground with Rico Dowdle again?
Oh, it's got to be through the air. Jatavian Sanders, right?
Yep.
We're going to talk about him in a second. It's crazy. Like the people that are catching passes in these offenses, Jacksonville, you've got Parker Washington and Dimey Brown, not named Travis Hunter or Brian Thomas Jr. These no-namers are seemingly making themselves a paycheck in these offenses, and Carolina's one of them. It's they got Ted McMillan and Hunter Renfrow running around out there like, okay, let's see if they can do this. but I really am down on Dallas's ability to stop the pass. It's just non-existent.
Yep, can agree with that. Here's one that goes into this question. Sit one, Jamie asks, Waddle, Tet, Cook, or Dowdle? It's hard to sit James Cook ever. All right, so he's not getting
Yeah,
sat.
I'm not sitting Cook.
No matter the situation, I'm not sitting Cook, no matter what. Tet, Waddle, and Dowdle, man. So you just said it. You think that they're going to get through the air, so that means Tet should be the starter. Right? He should be the number 2 guy we go for, that we want. So it comes down to Mr. Waddle, who, if you're a part of the Finstock Sports Network, you know I talk trash about Waddle all the time. Catch a ball, get hit, roll around like you're a soccer player, get stretchered off the field, get ruled out on sleeper, and come back and do it again. That's Waddle. And Dowdle, man, he just had that monster game. But if Tet's going to do it, I don't think Dowdle's going to do it. So I'm going to go Waddle. I'm going to go Mr. Soccer, Waddle. So sit in Dowdle.
I think Kenny Clark will do a pretty good job with Dowdle. He's one of the best defensive tackles in the league. I already said Kenneth Murray is going to have a field day. He's going to be a tackling machine there, but they're going to get all their yards through the air. I don't like starting running backs in my flex position. I've talked about that before a little bit. I'm going to sit Dowdle. I know it feels really dirty because that should be a bonanza game, but I don't think it's going to be a bonanza game for the running back.
Agreed with that. I'm excited for this next buy or sell.
You like this?
Kind of.
You ready?
Yeah. You're up. It's your tight end one.
No, I don't think it's that exciting. All right, so currently we've got Theo Johnson from last night. He is leading the league, the tight ends, in red zone targets with 8, followed by Hunter Henry with 7, and AJ Barnkowski with 5. Yeah, I said Barnkowski. Yeah,
I reject that. I'm rejecting
playing it here. So, but we've got a bunch tied at 5. We've got Barnkowski, we've got Jake Ferguson, Goddard. Again, he was part of that last night. Juwan Johnson, Travis Kelce, Kraft, McBride, and Jatavian Sanders, all tied at 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys tied at 5. Do you believe we should expect to see the usage for these new kids on the block, like Theo, Barnkowski, Ferguson, and Sanders? Is that something that's trending up?
I'm not going to say that name, but I will say AJ Barner is a stud. He's on one of my teams that I started. I've started this kid since day one because in that league we're in. Are you in that league? Started from the bottom where we drafted all rookies? No, you're not. Okay, so there's a league that Justin made where last year we took the concept of we're starting a league, but no one before 2024 exists. We only drafted rookies, and that's our lineup. And then we drafted again. So we've only had 2 classes full of rosters. Like we can only roster rookies this year or sophomores from last year. That's it. Anyway, Barner's my tight end. I got lucky and drafted him. Super stud. Why is he being used right now? Him and Sam Darnold have a great relationship, and it's actually helping Sam Darnold out. So, yes, that's going to continue. Jatavian Sanders, yes, that's going to continue, although his usage isn't going to be as much as a AJ Barner, Barnkowski, and not as much as a Jake Ferguson or Kraft because they're not in an offense that demands that many plays, but he will be effective for Bryce Young when they do get down in the red zone. I like all these young names, especially these young tight ends, but I want to make this clear to everybody watching. We've been saying this for a very long time. There is a boom of young athletic tight ends coming into the league. This started with Kyle Pitts, and then we get them all, Brock Bowers. But at a certain point, they all can't be top 12. Dalton Kincaid, Sam Laporta. Like we've had a lot of good young tight ends, but most of them are not panning out. So in what is in your eyes? I'm going to flip the question. I'm Roddy Piper. As soon as you think you have all the answers, I change the question. What do you think about all these guys are averaging 9.6, 10.2? What is actually elite or good enough for you to call them a household name or a automatic starter for your fantasy team? Because I'm sorry, I love AJ Barner. I'm starting him in that rookie league only, but I'm not starting him in a real league. You get my point?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do they need to do? What hurdle do they need to cross?
They have to be 22% of the target share, 22% or more. You've got obviously Kelsey dominated target share for a very long time. When these guys are averaging, like 20 plus, 22% plus target share, those are the guys, those are the elites, those are the Trey McBrides, the Brock Bowers last year. Those guys, some of them get up into 30% target share, and those are the elite of the elite. But those guys are the ones that you're looking for. Now, we've got guys that get very lucky, they get streaky. George Kittle was one of those guys for a long time. He would just disappear in games because they didn't need him. But that's just the way it is for tight end. You're always going to have that issue. But now that you have these big move tight ends, and that's exactly what these are. They're big slot guys. They started this way back in the day. It started to catch on. It was with Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham was one of the first. And then we kind of lost it with Gronkowski and those guys. They got to be a little bigger. They didn't move as much on the outside. And then you had Aaron Hernandez. I'm not going to talk about what he did or what he didn't do. But Aaron Hernandez was a giant slot wide receiver. He's not. These guys are not tight ends. Theo Johnson's not a tight end, guys. He may play the tight end position. Kyle Pitts is not a tight end. They may play the tight end position. They might end up on the end of that line. But these guys are just big, slow slot guys, and they're taking advantage of the smaller safeties and or slower linebackers in the defensive formation. When you see these guys and they go out there and they're in prevent, and you always see the tight end come up with a pass. You know why? Because he's bigger than the free safety or the smaller corner that's on him at that time when they're in dime or nickel or quarter packages. But that's why you see these garbage time tight ends get all these points, especially Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is notorious for last minute savior type of stuff. These guys that we just talked about, they are not the prototypical tight ends. They're not the George Kittles. George Kittle is a tight end. He's going to block. You've got Sam Laporta. Laporta is a tight end. He's going to block. But guys like Evan Ingram, not a tight end. He's a move slot wide receiver. He's a big slot.
Yep. Jamie, if you missed it, Pudge talked about Kenneth Murray a while ago in the spotlight. One of his favorite starts of the week. Kenneth Murray should have a monster day. So yes, you should start him up. He said perfect Dodson is out, so Murray is a no-brainer in my lineup over Cody Barton.
Yeah, Terrell Dodson was designated out today.
Yep. Juan and Jeffrey, we'll get to you in a second. We got 2 more buy or sells if you want to stick around. These will be quick, I promise you. My last buyer, well, I have 2 more. One's a bonus. Trust me, it's nothing crazy. Buy or sell. Roma Dunze has scored in every single game this season. Simple. Does he score against Washington on Monday night and extend that streak? or does he fail and DJ Moore finally gets his shine?
I'm gonna buy. They both get a touchdown.
Simple as that.
Washington's secondary is suspect at best, so I would expect Rome to keep on cooking. Him and Caleb have a good rapport. He's grasping that offense. He is the alpha. He is the wide receiver one for Chicago. And if Chicago is going to score, I would put my chips in on Adunze.
Right on.
He's my highest percentage player.
Stud.
He
Me
is.
too.
He's great. He really is. He was a huge buy this offseason.
Yeah, I traded Hampton and Devontae Smith for him in a league, and I don't regret it. I don't.
No.
Do not regret that
I wouldn't.
whatsoever. I don't see the third buy or sell for you, so at least it's not in there. I don't see it, but that's fine. Let's get to these questions from Juan, and then I'm gonna drop my last one on you after the questions, and then we're gonna close out the show, guys. So if you have any more questions watching, you're just getting in, please drop the questions out, because we got SmackDown starting soon. All right, Juan wants to know who for my wide receiver 2 and 3 tight end flex spot. Okay, so we need wide receiver 2 and 3 and a tight end and a flex. We have Devontae Adams, QJ, Debo,
Robert Flourney.
Okay.
He's from Dallas.
Thornton, Shepard. I'm just trying to get it's all jumbled up. I'm not reading it from
there. Yeah,
Shepard.
I put it up on the screen.
A.O. Manor. All right. Then he's got Henderson, Gainwell, Krosky, Bill. And then Charbonnet, Mason Taylor, Kyle Pitts, and Kittle on the tight end. So let's do the tight end real quick, because that one to me seems like to be the easiest one. Taylor or Kyle Pitts for you, sir, because we talked about Taylor early, how we liked him, but he's also playing that ugly, gross overseas game. So would you play Kyle Pitts over Mason Taylor in this situation? Because Atlanta's got Buffalo at home in a dome off a bye.
I'm still starting Taylor. I'm over Kyle Pitts. This is more of a personal decision than a thinking. This is thinking with my head, or thinking with my heart instead of my head. I'm projecting Kyle Pitts to have more points, but I can't have him in my lineup.
No.
So Taylor for me is my tight end. For my wide receiver 1 and 2, or for my 2 and 3, it's going to be Devontae.
I think it's wide receiver 1, 2, and 3, like the whole thing. So yeah, Devontae. It's 3. I'm assuming it's 3 because he didn't.
Because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Either way, we'll rank them 1 through 3. How about that? Adams 1.
Yeah, Adams, Huge, and Debo. I think you're absolutely correct there. Flournoy had a anomaly game last week against the Lions that had both of their starting cornerbacks out.
That's it. Here's my suggestion, because he only needs 4. He's got the tight end, and
he's got flex.
He got 4 total players. So I think I know I would go personally with Mr. Charbonnet's playing overseas too. Jets can't stop anybody. I kind of like Charbonnet in that spot, but I can see why you don't, because you don't like starting running backs in your flex. So in that end, what receiver would you start over Charbonnet? That's my question to you.
Right now, I would probably start Thornton, just because you got Rashee Rice out one more game. I am not starting Gainwell against the Browns. The Browns defense is really, really good. We talked about Travion Henderson earlier.
We don't like him.
Love the player, but you can't use a Rolls Royce every play. It just doesn't work out. He'll burn out, especially being a running back. I'm not starting Bill. I'm staying away from him. Trade him. That's what you should do. See what you can get for him. I I would trade him if you can still. So Adams, huge, Samuel, and
Charbonnet. I'll say it for you. Oh no! Oh, well, you know what? You make that decision, Mr. Juan, because I'm going to go Charbonnet. He's going AO Manor. He wants you to start the receiver with the tight end or with the quarterback that throws for like 50 yards in a game. That's what he wants you to do. I want you to start Zach Charbonnet against the New York Jets, who anyone can score on. Who Zach Charbonnet is getting the touchdown looks over Kenneth Walker. Zach Charbonnet is getting the red zone looks over Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
So I'm starting with the guy who has the most potential to score a touchdown between AO Manor and Charbonnet. I bet you Charbonnet can score more touchdowns than the whole Titans offense this week. So Charbonnet is my start over there. He's also got Jonathan Taylor and Josh Jacobs. He has 2 leagues, so we'll help you out in this league as well. I'll name the players for the viewers and listeners. Romeo Dobbs. Oh, I hate that guy. Quentin Johnson again. DJ Moore or Travis Hunter, Javonte Williams, James Cook, Kyron Williams. You're stacked at running back here. JSN is your wide receiver 1 already locked in. So, and there's Stevenson and Kamara. So he needs a second wide receiver, a running back 1, a running back 2, and a flex. So 4 players 2. But this time only 2 wide receivers can go. So Quentin Johnston for sure. He's gonna be your wide receiver 2.
Yeah, I'm taking Quentin Johnston, Javonte, Cook.
That's so hard because he's got Kyron
Williams.
Baltimore.
No. Have you seen Baltimore's ranked 31st in defense?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, how could you sit Kyron against Baltimore?
Oh, right.
That's what I said.
Oh, I was like, I misunderstood you.
No.
I was like, wheels up for.
I know how bad Baltimore is, brother.
Man. Yeah, I mean, you're stacked. I'll start all those running backs. Take out Kamara. I know that hurts. We've ridden him till the wheels fall off, I guess.
Javonte, Cook, Kyron. Those are your running back 1, 2, and flex. And then for your receiver, Quentin Johnson. Done.
Yeah.
Done and done. You're stacked, brother. Good job. But if Quentin Johnson doesn't start, who do I go with? Addison's on a bye. Waiver wire, Thornton, Flournet. You love this Flournoy guy. I'm telling you, he's not going to be a thing. Sterling Shepard or Boutte.
Yeah, he had a big game last week.
Yeah, I know.
And I understand with the unclarity with CD still out. They're still trying to find a guy, but I wouldn't put too much stake in Flournoy.
Is Turpin back this week?
I don't think it matters. He's a decent player, but he's
fun to
more
watch.
Of a special teams ace. Yeah, he's a special teams ace for sure.
Yep. So that's
he's no Devin Hester, but who is?
If all those, I'll tell you this: the waiver wire guys I like the most there. I like Thornton better than all of the guys because he's on the better offense with the better quarterback. He's going to get more targets. That's why I like over Boutte, over AO Manor, over Flournoy, and over Shepard.
Yeah, I agree with Thornton. So you're only going to get one more game out of Thornton probably before Rice and Worthy kind of take over all that, and then backfilled in with Kelsey, and maybe Brashard Smith, if he's on your waivers, could be a early pickup because he's taking over that passing game role, that pass catching role for Kansas City, much like Kareem Hunt did when he was a rookie.
Yep. Jeffrey wants to know. I love trade questions. These are my favorite. Hey, y'all, trade question here. Should I trade Sutton and ETN for Nico Collins and Javonte Williams? I know Nico is on bye, but I have I'm assuming Elick, VTJ, I'm assuming BTJ, Tet, Alvin Kamara, Jordan Mason, and Genty. Mason. So you have Genty and Mason as your running backs 1 and 2. You'd be in ETN up there as well. He's probably your 1. Genty is your 2. Jaden Mason is your 3. So Javonte would be an upgrade on ETN, or would he? I'm not sure in this situation. I love ETN. Trade
I do
Sutton.
too.
Sutton for
in
Nico.
that-
Sutton's more solid. Nico's more boom bust. Nico has huge games. He has huge yo-yo games. He can get you 30 or he can get you 8. Where I think Sutton's always a solid 15 to 18. Always.
Yeah. With the way your roster is constructed, I would go and I would take Sutton and ETN over Nico and Javante. I do love Javante, but I also love ETN, and I love that offense. I know it hasn't came out yet. They haven't had their coming out party yet, but it's soon. If Trevor Lawrence can take what they did that last game against Kansas City and build off of that, if he can get out of his own head, I really think that Duval could be a thing this year.
Yep. All right, so my answer is I'm going to hold tight because I think Sutton just gives you a much safer experience. Although Nico does
Yeah.
give you that bust, but man, if BTJ, if that is BTJ, because I don't know who any player BTJ, if that is Brian Thomas Jr. and they figure it out, your team is stacked, and I truly, truly believe that. And I don't understand Brian. That's got to be a whole show one day. Just what happened to Brian Thomas Jr.? What in the world? All right, my last buy sell, and this will be quick and fun. And I'm just curious because I've asked a couple people that I respect, and they share the same opinions as I do on this. And I'm not going to give them away what they are yet. Buyer, and I won't judge you if you trust me. I won't judge you if you think the other way. I don't care. It's your opinion. Buy or sell. The boneheaded goober head coach down in Arizona deserves to be fined $100,000 for what happened last Sunday. Buy or sell, he deserves. I need to know.
Man, I buy. Like I believe.
Okay.
So Dabble is getting fined for what he did with Jackson Dart in the tent last night. They've already come out and said it. I don't know if they said what it is, but that BS that is going down over there in Scottsdale, or Phoenix. I don't know what in the heck is up, but man, fine them.
Okay.
Do it.
Respectfully, that's fine. I just don't know. And again, I'm not going to get too into it because there's no reason for it. It's not our problem or money. But I just don't understand how you can ask grown men to go slam into other grown men where it's a game of violence, and all we saw and all that was done was something that happened in the show Scrubs as they brushed by each other every episode. Are you crazy? Not you, but just, are you guys crazy? Coaches used to grab face masks and what? This is a violent, angry sport where grown men run into each other full speed and they hurt each other all to get a ball over a paint of white paint.
This is
this
is not the U.S. military.
Hold on. You're right.
This is a job.
You're right. You're right. You are right. But I'm telling you guys this right now. I used to work in the used car business, and I've had way more violent things happen to me in those offices with these used car managers. Way more violent things. Chairs thrown at me. Threatened me because I overcharged them on a whatever reconditioning thing I did. I don't know. I know we're all like, it's 2025. We can't do these things. I get it. But he didn't push him. He didn't strike him. He didn't spit on him. All he did was angrily walk away and brush his shoulder on purpose. I'm sorry. I don't think that deserves $100,000. I know they made an example. I know you do. And that's okay. That's totally okay. Whatever. It is what it is. It's just, you're the first person I spoke of ever that said that he deserved to be. Maybe I'm a Floridian, and us Floridians, we do things differently. I don't know what it is, but I don't see a problem with it.
if I walked up to my boss and I didn't like what he did and I did that, I would be fired. I wouldn't have a job. It wouldn't be $100,000. I wouldn't have a job. Now, that being said, we are asking these guys to do a violent thing, but you praise in public and you condemn in private. Keep it in the locker room. The best coaches do it. You don't see the best coaches doing that. Is he the best coach? Absolutely not. He probably won't have a job after this year. But lead by example. And I think that is more what this is behind. This isn't it's petty. But it's let's be honest. It didn't warrant $100,000. But let's make our coaches lead by example. We want them to do it. We do it in Pee Wee. I don't say anything to the coaches. The coaches, they do a wonderful job. They're volunteers. They go through stuff like this. And can you imagine if one of my kids struck out and the coach told him to take the pitch, and then all of a sudden he brushed him up by the shoulder?
Come on.
What happens? What happens?
That's Pee Wee, though. They're not getting paid millions of dollars.
Baseball, I'm talking. It is a lead by example, and I'm glad they did it to him and not one of my guys. You don't see Dan Campbell doing stuff like that. You don't see Andy Reid doing things like that. You don't see Pete Carroll or any of the really good coaches. Maybe Mike Vrabel. He'll headbutt you. But you don't do that. Yeah, you get caught up in the heat of the moment and you exchange words, but you don't physically touch another man. I'm surprised that he didn't get his, whooped. Because if somebody would have hit me and I'm that jacked up and juiced playing, good on him for having the resolve to not strike him back.
I have to end it here only because we're going very long, but I want to ask you this one thing, and let's make it quick and wrap it up. Did he speak out? Did the player speak out? Because I must have missed that. I didn't see it. And my thought was this, and you nailed it. I'm okay. You said it perfectly. Because I guarantee you, matter of fact, I'm not going to guarantee it because I don't know. I'm not in the locker rooms. But there's probably worse things going on in the locker room. There's probably
absolutely.
way worse. So with the player not striking back, he's probably used to this because that's NFL. That's the football. It's National Football League. That's what players do. Nothing. You think everyone stopped just grabbing face masks and yelling at players in practice and what so? No, it doesn't not stopped. It's sports. It's going to happen. Don't do it on the sideline for the whole world to see. That's why the fine was so heavy, because it was a bad image for the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to know the players' opinions. I haven't watched any talking heads. I don't watch TV throughout the week. I don't watch the shows. I don't. I want to know what the player, because that's all the opinion matters. I don't care what Bill Plaschke says, or I'm just naming names. I don't know these players. If these people still make content, I don't care what any newspaper writer says or any talking head, ESPN. I don't care. How do the players feel? Because if the players think that this is normal, this happens, let it be. Again, I'm not in the locker rooms. I don't know, but I guarantee you it's happening back there. You know that. You know that watching too.
The days of Bobby Knight are over.
The days of Bobby Knight are over. Yeah, come on, guys. We already had the kickoff rule. We got all these stupid rules that they introduced to make the game softer. Can we keep some kind of toughness in my football? The days of John Lynch just smashing people are gone.
Jacked up.
Jacked up is gone.
Jacked up was messed up. That was the greatest ESPN show. I miss it.
Man. Yeah,
But
yeah. But
thanks
yeah,
for
that's
sticking
gonna
with
do.
us.
Yeah, this is a very okay, are we ever gonna do a show under an hour? That's the question. Because I don't think it's
Do you want
possible.
to?
Sometimes my kids want me to, honestly. Sometimes my kids are like standing right here where you guys can't see, just literally waiting for me. I've had that happen
Mine has been
times.
so patient for the last 25 minutes.
No, but I appreciate all of you guys for watching, because if you can handle us for 90 minutes, man, you guys deserve a gold star. Make sure you follow us everywhere on the social medias, Blue Skis, the Twitters, the Instagrams, the TikToks. I'm over there too. Blue Sky. Did I say Blue Sky? Yeah. Fantasy Now Plus. FantasyNowPlus.com is where you can find our rankings, our articles. Pudge puts up an IDP article every single Tuesday. We have waiver articles going up there. We have a bunch. We have a bunch of stuff. So make sure you follow us over there. If you're still watching and you're on our YouTube channel, please drop us a like. Please. It really does help us. I'm begging at this point. If you're on Twitter watching us right now, or if you're on Finstock Sports Network, do me a favor. Make my day. Come over to our YouTube channel. We're growing. We're on the pace to reach 1,000 subscribers by week 10. I would like to get there sooner, so please help us out. Be a part of the family before we hit 1,000, right? That'd be awesome. Hit 1,000
Would be
in under a
sweet.
year. Well, we're over a year now, but that would be sweet. So I appreciate all of you guys. Until next week, Pudge, you got any last words? Any last words?
Let's go.
Let's
Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Let's go. All right. Peace out,
Love you
guys.
guys.
Have a good one.